It is Tuesday, September 14th, 2021. My name is Keith Evans, and I'm at the grave of Dr. John Gorrie. I'll be doing a paranormal session. I can't remember whether it's going to be 3 or 4. I think it's number 3, but I might be wrong. We're approaching Dr. John Gorrie's grave from the back, and I wanted to ask him the population of Apalachicola when he first moved here. I just stick to one question this time and give him advance notice. So Dr. John Gorrie, you can see he's facing east. And what was the population of Apalachicola when you lived here? If you could use the obelisk 5 to respond, that would be great. Dr. John Gorrie or any other ghost or spirit, if you don't want to talk to me, then it's your decision. And please don't manipulate either the millimeter or the obelisk 5. That's the millimeter right there. This one here that I'm pointing to. And the obelisk 5 is right beside it. It's cloudy out, but the sun is peeking through the thin clouds, so, well, the temperature certainly is not 166.1, so we'll go with, let me turn it off and turn it back on and see if, try that again. Yeah, that's better. 86.0 degrees Fahrenheit. Alright, let's go ahead and turn on the obelisk 5B. Let me make sure that the screen is nice and free of my fingerprints from my pen there. And I'll turn it on and see what we get. We got evolution and shop. I'll pick this up so you can get a better view of it. Turn around away from the sun, you should be able to see it better. I know some people feel that the first 2 words are just arbitrary, but I consider everything because, from what I was told, it's supposed to be like a background reading, and ghosts and spirits are in the background, so all the time. They're not just there after you ask a question. And sometimes when you ask a question, they might not be there anyway. So, evolution and shop. Evolution is EVOLUTION, and shop is SHOP. I did finish doing some shopping, and evolution. Now, maybe he sees the evolution in my approach to get him to respond. Well, Dr. John Gorrie, I don't see the millimeter doing anything. I'm going to lay this down so you can feel free to use it. I know ghosts and spirits don't want to use the piece of equipment that I'm holding in my hand, just like someone wouldn't want to use a cell phone while I'm holding it in my hand. It's not 167 degrees Fahrenheit. This is a little bit hot today, but probably no hotter than usual. Well, Dr. John Gorrie, I'll give you some space to get in there, and if you want to utilize the Obelisk 5B, and if you don't, that's okay too. But I must say, Dr. John Gorrie, if I don't get some type of meaningful paranormal words from you or responses on the mail meter, that, I'll have to find a spot where there's more paranormal activity. So let's do it this way. Dr. John Gorrie, if you're here, give me a millimeter spike. That would be the milligauss, increased electromagnetic energy. The temperature, I don't understand that. It's definitely not 162 degrees, 0.8. Well, I'll finish up with just the obelisk, and if we don't get any words from the obelisk, so Dr. John Gorrie, you no longer have the millimeter to focus on. I just want you to focus on the obelisk 5, which is right here, where my thumb is pointing. Maybe you don't remember or don't know how many people were in Apalachicola when you moved here, but was it small compared to what it is now? I know over the years it hasn't grown much because it's got all the federal forests around it. Because I became. Well, that's I as in eyeball, but I think you're saying I as in capital letter I. What did you become? Go ahead. My spelling's bad too, so don't feel bad about spelling. And when you were alive, probably writing and spelling wasn't all that important. So go ahead. I'm sorry to have criticized you. Most people don't realize it, but only 2 generations ago, when my grandparents were growing up, if your relative owned a farm and you were going to be working on a farm, most children would quit and go to work. And most children didn't get much more than 5th or 6th grade education. Okay, we got Plan and Joe. Well, I don't really have a plan. I just, other than to talk to Dr. Gorrie. Joe. Okay. Did they call John Gorrie Joe? J.O. is short. If he was named after a relative, maybe they did. Wound. So Joe was wounded. Dr. John Gorrie, were you hurt when you died? Did somebody hurt you? Or am I barking up the wrong tree? Well, if you're asking about a plan, my plan would be to come here and visit you once a week. I'm trying to save money on gas, and so I only drive to Apalachicola once a week. Nighttime is not the best for me. I usually like to be in by 5 p.m. or 6 p.m. After I had that kidney failure, I have a tendency to get tired by that time of day. So I like to be home and in and not driving anymore. Sorry about not being able to do nighttime, but Maybe if I'm living closer someday I will. I think that would be fun. As you can see, there's a sidewalk approaching here and a sidewalk approaching here, and all the grass is neatly mowed. It's not like some of the graveyards I go to where the grass is so tall the snakes can be hiding there. Joe J.O. I'm trying to think. Is that the spelling for female Joe? Because Joe is usually spelled J-O-E, but maybe, Joe can be spelled that way also.
File. Hat.
Vile hat. Vile hat. Oh. As you can see, my millimeters here, laying down on the grave, which Dr. Gorrie's grave was probably up 4 or 5 inches, to get to where my millimeter is laying. So for those of you that think the millimeter is always causing words to pop up, it's not even on, and I'm about that far from it. So, file and hat. Yeah, I am wearing a hat. File. I'm not sure what you're talking about when you say file. That would have to do with a hat. Intent to file, maybe. Well, I filed for Social Security not too long ago. Is that what you're talking about? That would be the only thing I could think of that I would be considered where people have in the past used the term that they filed for Social Security. So I have file, hat, and intent. Are you talking about my intent or your intent? And when I put the videos on YouTube and then from there Facebook and my Facebook groups that I belong to, I guess you could say that that's a way of filing things. And I hope that you're okay with that. I usually tell you before I start that I'm going to be placing it on social media. So if you don't want to speak, then, for the ghosts and spirits that don't want to be involved, then to not manipulate the obelisk 5B or the millimeter. Well, I'll say one thing. You've had a lot of energy today. I'm not sure if I'm dealing with one person or many, because the words have been, many and in different directions, at least to what I'm trying to figure out at this point in time. Well, we're coming up on 15 minutes, so Dr. John Gorrie, it's been nice talking to you today, and any other ghost or spirit that chose words on the millimeter or attempted to use the millimeter temperature or attempted to use the obelisk 5B, that I hope to be back in about a week to do some more taping. So it's been nice talking to you all, and take care until next week. Thank you. Have a good day.